Hello fellow humans and welcome to the Madhouse. Today is Saturday the 23rd of April and it's, 30 seconds until 1 o'clock. So the readathon is going to start very soon. I have my books here ready and I'm gonna get started. Fun! Let's start with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Story of the Door. Mr. Utterson the lawyer was a man of rugged countenance that was never lighted by a smile. Cold, scanty and embarrassed in discourse, backward in sentiment, lean, long, dusty, dreary and yet somehow lovable. At friendly meetings and when the wine was to his taste, something eminently human beaconed from his eye, something indeed which never found its way into his talk, but which spoke not only in the silent symbols of after-dinner face, but more often and loudly in the acts of his life. I'm going to keep reading with this. I have, my Dorian Gray ready to go. I'm looking forward to it. I'll check in later. Tatty buys. I've been at this for a little over 5 hours and je suis un peu knackered. I managed to finish Jekyll and Hyde. That was a bit of a push because it wasn't as enjoyable as I thought. I'll talk about this more later. And, until about 20 minutes ago, I was still listening to The Picture of Dorian Gray. I've not finished it yet, but while I eat my pizza, I'm watching an episode of Doctor Who. I've been in the mood lately and I'm quite enjoying it, so I figured why not. I've also started reading A Gathering of Shadows. Well, I say started reading, I was already halfway through it. And I'm just hoping to finish off now. And yes, I have essentially just sat on my bed for 5 hours wrapped in a blanket. Because I can. I'll check in later. Bye. So, hello, it is currently 10 to 9 at night. I've been going for quite some time. I read maybe another 50 pages or so of this before I decided to take a break and go on to something a little bit shorter. Seriously funny. The endlessly quotable Terry Pratchett. I love Pratchett and this is just some of the best quotes from his works in there. And I love it. I'll just show you one of my favourite ones now. My absolute favourite. If you don't turn your life into a story, you just become a part of someone else's story. The Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents. And with regards to this, I've been listening to it on my computer, but then I remembered I can listen to it on my phone at 3 times the speed and get more stuff done that way, so I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to go downstairs and get myself a tub of Ben & Jerry's from the freezer. I've only got the one and I'll try not to eat it all in one sitting, but sometimes you just have to. Though I really don't know why I feel that need right now, but I do. And I should stop looking at the viewfinder of this and just at the lens. It looks much better. No matter. See you later. Hello again. It's currently 11:15. I am absolutely knackered. I'm not sure how many pages I've got through in this, but probably at least 60 from where I was after the last checkup. I have 2 hours left on, I've forgotten what it's called, the Oscar Wilde thing, The Picture of Dorian Gray. I'd like to carry on going, but I'm going to be asleep fairly soon anyway because I've been sleeping terribly for a while. Better than I have been for weeks, but still not great. I reckon I'm going to get up at maybe 7, possibly have a shave. I feel like I've got a lot of stubble growing and I don't like it. Definitely moisturize actually. I look really tired and ill. And then I'm going to listen to my audiobook while I do my washing up, which I've been putting off for a few days. Sue me. Until the morning, tatty buys. Good morning everyone. It's currently 8 o'clock. I slept through until 6 and I've just spent the last 2 hours listening and finishing off The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I really liked. I love Oscar Wilde's writing style when it's not written down. When I hear it, it's fine, and some truly beautiful examples of prose. I'm feeling kind of ill now, actually. I don't know what it is. Some sort of flu-y, coldy thing again. But I've also spent most of it sneezing. That's why I haven't updated yet, because this is the first time I've gone for 5 minutes without sneezing. So I'm a bit hesitant to continue with this, because I don't want to get it covered in snot. So I'm going to listen to another audiobook. It won't be Small Gods, because I've decided to go for something a little bit shorter. I'll check up on you later. Tatty buys. Hello again, it's currently 20 past 8, of course not much time has elapsed since my last update, but I just got off the phone with my mum. Turned out she's not feeling very well, fibromyalgia is a bitch. So they won't be coming down to see me today. So I can in fact spend the entire day reading. Now, it wasn't how I planned to spend it, obviously I was going to read, but I wanted to see my parents. Instead, I'm going to go home and see them for next weekend, which will be even better, I think. They do say that every cloud has a silver lining, and while any meteorologist will be able to tell you that that's bogus, the sentiment it expresses is true, I suppose. I've started giving this a quick read. I say quick read, it's not exactly a short book, but it is fairly fast to fly through. I'm a big fan of science. I'm trying to do some research for when I write more in my science fiction novel because, well, if you don't understand the scientific principles fully, you're going to misrepresent the ideas and give people the wrong impression. And for me, I like science fiction that is accurate. I enjoy science fantasy like Star Wars, but I prefer science fiction where, well, like Star Trek, it's based on theoretically sound scientific principles. The idea of a warp drive generated by that is complete bollocks, but an Alcubierre drive is an entirely possible phenomenon. We haven't figured out how to generate enough energy to do it, but we know that it could be done. Science is, for me, the foundation of a good piece of science fiction, not just let's stick in a green woman and call it science fiction. See you later. Things are going quite well now, and I've actually gotten up and eaten breakfast. I made cinnamon rolls. Whoopsies. So didn't eat as much as I could have done, but I was still listening. Finished this then. A good book. I very much enjoyed it. Some useful principles, like I said earlier. I also started, or rather carried on listening to Born with Teeth by Kate Mulgrew. It's her autobiography, and I just love listening to her voice. I'm still taking a break from this. I don't know why, because the point I was at was exciting and I was enjoying it, but I'm just not feeling it right now. So instead I read Goblin Market by Christina Rossetti, which actually this edition holds more than just Goblin Market, which I was surprised by because it's a big poem. But it does, and it's very good. I love some of her works. I'm also going to read Giorgio Vasari's Leonardo da Vinci. I find Leonardo fascinating. He's one of my biggest idols. Some people would argue that he is possibly the greatest genius who has ever lived. Now, of course, it's impossible to verify that because he's been dead for nearly 500 years. But I love reading about him anyway. I've read a whole bunch of books on this, and part of the reason I enjoyed the Assassin's Creed games was because you get to meet him. That and killing is fun, don't you think? Yeah! I'll let you know what this is like later, and I'll see if I can't get this finished because I still have, let's see, 2.5 hours. See you later. There are now 2 minutes left in the readathon, slightly less actually. So I'm going to pretty much say that it's done because I'm too busy trying not to sneeze right now. These are all of the books that I read and finished. Seriously Funny, Goblin Market, Leonardo da Vinci,
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Sleeper and the Spindle, which is absolutely gorgeous, The Science Book, and The Madness of Cambyses, who was truly bonkers from what this says. Oh, and of course there was the audiobook of The Picture of Dorian Gray. And as for unfinished, I have got 200 more pages through this, but still not done yet. And I got about 3 more hours of Born with Teeth done. It's been a productive day, I feel. Well, 2 days, sort of, whatever. I may do a proper review of all of the books, or at least those deserving of it. Until next time then, tatty byes!